Good morning, students. The topic for today's discussion is nervous system. The nervous system consists of the brain, spinal cord, nerves and the sense organs. It's a very important part of a body. We are going to learn about the different areas in that and also the functions of the nervous system. It keeps us informed about the outside world through the 5 sense organs: our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. All these sense organs help us to keep each and everything informed what is going around in the world. It enables us to remember, to think and also to reason out different type of problems, different type of solutions we take out, and all these things are again a very nice reward of the nervous system. It controls and harmonizes all voluntary muscular activities like running or even holding a book in your hand while you're reading. It regulates the involuntary activities such as your breathing, the beating of the heart without our thinking about them. We don't know what exactly we are doing, but without thinking, all these things go on simultaneously. It's just because of the nervous system. Now let's take a look at the structural and functional unit of the nervous system, that is the neuron. The nervous system is made up of special cell called the nerve cell or neuron. It's made up of 2 main parts. The first one is the cyton or the main cell body and a long process called the axon. The cell body, you can see it in the diagram, it contains nucleus. The dendrites, they are the cytoplasmic extensions of the cell body, and from the cell body arises a long process called the axon. It may be nearly, children, from few millimeters to 1 meter in length. End of the axon terminates in a number of branches, filaments called the terminal branches. There are so many types of neurons. 3 kinds are there. First one is the sensory neuron, motor neuron and the association neuron. Now these sensory neurons, they carry impulses from the sense organs to the spinal cord or brain. The motor neurons, they carry impulses from the brain and spinal cord to the muscles and glands. Association neurons, these transmit impulses from one neuron to the other. Coming to synapse. It's a small junction used for the communication between 2 neurons. It is at this synapse that the message is transmitted from the axon of one neuron to the dendrites of the other. This transmission takes place because of the secretion of specific chemical called neurotransmitter. Messages relayed in this manner from one neuron to the next allow the unidirectional flow of impulses. Have a look at the diagram over there. Now this nervous system of the human beings consists of following 3 parts: the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. Let's take up the central nervous system now. It consists of the brain and the spinal cord. We know that the brain is further divided into 3 main parts, that's your cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Let's look at the cerebrum. It's the largest portion of the brain and it's divided into 2 halves, right and the left, called the cerebral hemispheres. Outer surface is folded with ridges and grooves. Each hemisphere is internally hollow. The walls have outer and inner portion. More the number of grooves and ridges in an organism, more number of neurons it can accumulate, and even the intelligence capacity of the child or of that particular person is more. Now the outer portion contains of the cell body of the neuron called the gray matter, it accumulates a large number of neurons over there, nearly 9 billion neurons. The inner portion of the cerebrum consists of the axons and is called the white matter. Now let's see the function of cerebrum. It's a seat of intelligence, consciousness and willpower. It also controls the voluntary activities. The second part of the brain is the cerebellum. It is much smaller and is located under the cerebrum. Its main function is to balance the body and coordinate muscular activities. This cerebellum, children, gets affected by alcohol. That's why we sometimes see the alcoholic person is unable to coordinate his muscular movements properly. Suppose he wants to hold a cup, the cup slips from his hands and it falls down. Why? Because the muscle coordination is not proper. He is unable to balance himself. He walks in a very haphazard manner. Coming to the third part of the brain, that's your medulla oblongata. It is the lowest part of the brain and continues up to the spinal cord, and its function is to control the activities of the internal organs like your beating of the heart, respiratory movements, peristalsis of the alimentary canal, etc. And you have to remember a very important point, that is, injury to medulla may result in the death of a person also. Let's see the next part of the central nervous system, that is your spinal cord. This extends from the medulla of the brain and runs down almost through the whole length of the backbone. In the spinal cord, the arrangement of white matter and grey matter is reversed from that of the brain. Inner part of the grey matter made up of cell bodies, while the outer part is the white matter. The main functions of spinal cord are: it controls the reflexes below the neck, it conducts the messages from the skin and muscles to the brain, it conducts commands from the brain to muscles of the trunk and limbs. You can have a look over here about the functions of cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata and the spinal cord in a nutshell. The reflex action. It's the quick, immediate and automatic response to the stimulus without the involvement of the brain. For example, suppose we want to pluck a rose from a rose plant. So, by chance, a thorn pricks inside our finger. Immediately we withdraw our finger and we just pull away ourselves from that place. This is due to the reflex action. So here also one example is given. It's a hot object is being touched by a person. So immediately the impulse is carried by the sensory neuron to the spinal cord and carried again from the motor neuron. You can have a look at the diagram, and it reaches the muscles which acts as an effector, and it pulls away the finger from that hot object. Now this shortest pathway of the nerve impulse from the receptor, which was a finger, to the effector, which makes a reflex action possible, is called a reflex arc. So I hope all of you have understood the chapter well. Go through it again, children. Thank you so much.